Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Kelly Sparks. Hey, I'm already ready. AKA Redbeard. So, we've got the 2023. Should be 2023. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2023. Does it say 2023? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this up real quick so I can breathe. I pre-opened it for time sensitive. Anyway, we've got 2023 Laphroaig Cairdeas. This is the white port and Madeira. You go there. We're gonna read off a little bit. So, every year since 2008, our distillery manager has created a limited edition bottling exclusively for our friends. First initiated by Master Distiller John Campbell, the honor passes down through decades of Laphroaig experts, and so, am I reading that right? First initiated by Master Distiller John Campbell, the honor passes down through decades of Laphroaig experts, and so, is that a comma or a period? And so, you hold in your hands Barry McAffer's. So, John must have retired or went elsewhere. You hold in your hand Barry McAffer's first Cairdeas release, White Port and Madeira. Come on, Barry. Maybe I put too much in there. Somebody's outside. So anyway, on Isla there is a saying, we don't make friends easily, but the ones we do are for life. I agree with that statement. I mean, I can be friendly with everybody, and I think this is a really good video. Kind of brings up a topic that I was going to talk about, right? That I am going to talk about. But this distinctive selection of cask finishes will delight our friends. 3/4 of the whiskey is matured in second fill Madeira casks, releasing the smoky, spicy, and sweet fruit flavors from these special barrels. The final quarter has been finished in first fill port casks. The majority of these are white port, adding a hint of crisp fruit and deep woodiness to the flavor. A new take on Laphroaig that plays to our strengths. Welcome, friends old and new. So this one's only bottled at 104.6 proof. Hopefully Barry, looking at you Barry McAffer, will release some cask strength Cairdeas in the future, because that's what I really like. But I got to run into a very, very old friend that I haven't seen in probably well over 20 years, 25 years probably, almost 30 years. Last time I saw this man, we were both in 8th grade. So you still get that. I think I get more smoke on this one than I do other Cairdeas releases. You get, it's not really like it's a campfire smoke, and I think I've said this before, it's more like an extinguished campfire. It's the sooty, charred wood. That's the aroma and the flavor I get, but with the extra finishing, you do get the fruity, crisp fruitiness and other flavors in there as well. But back to the story. So today's Sunday afternoon. Yesterday, went to a friend's wedding. Well, I ended up running into a bunch of old co-workers. Most of them were employees of mine, whether I was a team lead or a supervisor. I ended up running into a lot of folks. And it was a predominantly black wedding. It was I think it was a black fella named Robbie, and I think she's Filipino. But she's mixed as well. She's maybe white and Filipino. She's not 100%, but the predominant crowd were black folks. And I ended up running into several old employees / coworkers, and it was a nice surprise seeing them because I haven't saw them probably 5 years or more. But then I ran into an old classmate, Dennis, and I don't know if he knew the groom or if he knew the family. He showed up later on after the wedding. Yeah, that one, fresh fruit. Fresh fruit. It's almost like you took up some apples, maybe some pears, that type of fruit, not an orange, not a citrus, but like an apple, pear, what else? I can't think of the other types of fruit like that. But like cut them up, throw them over a fire, get them nice and charred, and then mix that in there with it, or even smoke them. Probably smoke them. But ended up running into my friend Dennis. I haven't seen in, like I said, since 8th grade. And we immediately started talking about like the last thing that we remember, like being around each other. And poor guy got into some trouble, spent some time in prison. While I was in the Marine Corps, he was in prison. And hate that for him. Drugs, man. Drugs are bad. They get you in trouble. But we were kind of reminisce about old times and about the times that could have been. I mean, he was an awesome football player. I mean, he was, and I don't know, I feel like I've told this story before, but I remember watching him. We were playing 8th grade football. I was on the sidelines all the time in 8th grade. I didn't even really start football until junior year in high school. And then we just destroyed everybody my junior year on JV. And then my senior year, I got first team all district. I think we went 7-4, something like that, 7-4 my senior year. One game into the playoff and just got destroyed. But I remember being in 8th grade, and this is one of those life-changing moments where you watch a man, the team that we were playing, we were from Spring Hill, and the team that we were playing at the time was from Dangerfield. And they had a kid on their football team, and this was a grown man, probably close to my size now, playing against 8th graders, and just a beast of a man. And then I think everybody finally caught up to him, and then he was just a good football player. But I feel like he ran down some bad paths. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I remember watching Dennis and a couple of our other linebackers trying to tackle this guy. And if you hit him anywhere above the hips, you're going to bounce right off, or he was going to run you over. The man's name was Duke Favors. You can look him up. Duke Favors, Dangerfield, Texas. I think he just passed away a few months ago. At least that's what Dennis told me. So rest in peace, dude. But I remember as an 8th grader, as a skinny little fat kid, little pudgy redheaded child, watching this other skinny, I was just chubby, I wasn't skinny, but watching Dennis, who was a very lean, lanky black kid, and our other predominantly white football team, the linebackers, watch them take this poor kid's knees out every chance they were basically spearing him in his kneecaps, and ended up knocking him out of the game. Whereas prior to that, he was just running over everybody. Mind you, we were 8th graders, junior high, but they were just demolishing other teams. And then you take a kid like Dennis, who was just fearless in the face of overwhelming, like basically the juggernaut, and just straight up putting shoulder pads in his kneecaps or his fucking helmet. And we talked about that. We brought that shit up. I was like, man, that was the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen. Like, as far as kids go, I mean, like, he was fearless. But it was a shame that he, like, the head coach at the time for the high school, left Spring Hill whenever I became a senior. went to a crosstown school. They weren't rivals. They were in a bigger district. And he took Dennis with him because he knew how good of an athlete he was. But it's sad because I wish he would have been able to play with us at Spring Hill. I wish he'd have been able to play with us through high school, because I mean, we only had 2 black kids. Three black kids on my senior year varsity football team. I think only 2 of them started. One was the running back, Bo Thomas, and the other one was the linebacker, Larry. Oh, what's his last name? Larry. I can't remember his name. But anyway, I'd love to run into all those guys again, because I don't have a bad word to say about any of them. But yeah, so I'm sitting there at a table, and this is how it went down last night. Sitting there at a table, and I'm probably a good 30, 35 feet away from Dennis. And I see him, and I had seen him on Facebook recently. So I haven't actually seen him in person in 30 years. But I saw him on Facebook. We became friends or whatever. And I spotted him from like across the way, and he was a good 30, 35 feet away. And I'm like, I know that motherfucker. So I get up, I walk over there, I get to probably, 10 feet away from him, and then I kind of give him this look, like, I know you. And he locks eyes, he kind of gives me a double take, looks at me again, and I'm kind of looking at him like this. He just, eyes got real big. He's like, Kelly! Hugged me up real quick, and yeah, we had a pretty good talk, catching up, man. It's good seeing that dude. Always a nice guy. I mean, like I said, I don't have a bad word to say about it. But I guess the moral of the story is take the chances. Go put yourself out there. You never know who you're gonna run into, and always treat people nice. I think I've said it before, but my whole goal in life from now on is try to leave people better than when I found them. And I think if everybody had that mindset, this would be a much better place. Most everybody's just out for themselves. I mean, you got to be out for yourself to an extent. You have to look out for yourself. Nobody else will. But at the same time, you don't have to trample on other people in the process. Oh, I run into, if you go back quite a few videos, there was another fella, a black fella, who was on the show, Bubba Ray, Sherman Tank. He's a big dude. But old Sherman Ray, run into him last night, so we're going to try to get together. He's got some whiskeys he's been sitting on for a while. I hadn't even popped a cork on them. So we'll try to get over to his house. He just lives right down the road from where I work, so might have to swing by there one evening, have a couple drinks, record some content, and then have a good time. But yeah, I love running into old friends. It's nice. It's a refreshing. I mean, it's good to catch up with people, see that they're still around. So I enjoyed it, but I didn't stay out too late. Made it home safe, obviously. I guess that's all I got, guys. Yeah, cherish the time you get to be with other people. I mean, I'm basically an extroverted introvert. I like my solitude, like being by myself, but I love seeing people that I haven't seen in years. I mean, it kind of warms your soul. But anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Like always, treat people right. That's really it. But like always, drink some whiskey, share it with your friends and family. Be safe, don't drink and drive. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.